Hey everybody, welcome back to the Kit Cave. Hope you all had a very Merry Christmas, and if you're watching this after today, which today being December the 29th, a very happy new year to you all, and I hope it's a very calm and prosperous and productive new year for everybody. Apologies for the lack of updates since the pre-build review of this video series. Along with a lot of people, I just found myself to be quite busy on the build up to the festive period. But the last few days, I've been able to get some good work in on these projects. So a little bit of an update as to where I am currently. So this is the update for the AMT ERTL. It's the 1/1400th scale, I believe. Star Trek: The Next Generation USS Enterprise C. So as we can see, where I am progress wise, I've got the warp nacelles all done and connected in. Basic lighting that's inside, some blue strips of LEDs, some red LEDs at the front of the buzzer collectors there, or whatever they're called. Got my navigation lights in. This is now rigged up, so I will switch it on to C for everybody to see there. So there we go. We can see that the main lighting is working and firing up, so it's looking pretty good. Got all the clear bits in now. I'm a modeler whereby I know a lot of people when they do this model they like to use the clear coloured spray, the red or the blue, to go over the clear plastic parts. I've got to be honest that I don't like to see that on my models. I'd rather have them frosted or cleared like this, so we can see when it's switched off. It's a clear dome. I'm probably going to frost these front ones up a little bit more to hide those red spot LEDs, but then we can see when it switches on. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I have also got this rigged up as well. I'll just show you this working to a prototype LED board. I always prototype them first before I actually build the main board to get the lighting effects at the back there. So we can see right at the back where it's got the navigation lights. I touched the negative wire, there we go. Rigged up to my prototype board, we can now start to see them flashing. And I believe that's about a 0.5 of a second, so half a second interval between the flashes there. I will be doing a separate video to show people and teach people how to make circuit boards to do this very basic flashing sequencing for navigation and strobe lights for the Star Trek models. They're very simple to do. I'm no expert at it. You know, I'm self-taught myself basic electronics years ago. Had a little play around and I've come up with a little board which is nice and simple and very cheap to put together. So as I said, I'll do a separate video on that as a bit of a tutorial if anybody's interested in seeing that. But there we are. So this is all ready to go, all ready to be installed into the main body part. Obviously it's not painted yet. I've got a bit of a seam work to do, a bit of puttying for any light leaks before I start then doing the overall paint job. But as I said, I'm a modeler. I don't like to do it in bits. I like to have the whole thing assembled, make sure all the lighting's all working, it's all light blocked, and then do all my masking and painting of the model once it's all assembled and connected in. But there we go. Very pleased with how this one has turned out so far. So that's where I am with the warp nacelles there. I'll just switch the power off. I'll just move the camera angle around, and there we go. Top of the saucer, bottom and top of the saucer, that's been done as well. This one's yet to be connected in. You can see that there's some wiring coming out the bottom here, but if I move this bottom section off, just to take it apart, just to show you on the inside, so some very basic lighting put into here, into the model kit. So the lights are rigged up there. I decided not to go with LED strip in the bottom of this. What we're looking at here with these LEDs, they were actually recycled LEDs that I took out of a project years ago, and I've always kept them. I was always figuring out, okay, where can I use these LEDs, and decided to rehash them and put them into here. The resistor values that are on these particular LEDs here were rigged up initially for a power supply of 12 volts. I like to use 9 volts. That's the maximum that the circuit board can take. And you know, 9 volts is plenty strong enough to light up your models. So these lights are a little bit dimmer than they would be if they were connected to a resistor value for 9 volts, but it still works. It still shines up pretty decent. And I'll just mess around with all my wiring here just to show you that lighting up. If I just disconnect everything here from the nacelles, bear with me everybody. Got wires everywhere. So that's part of the joy of doing these projects. Having the headache of all this wiring. I'll just move my little circuit board, prototype board out of the way there. So yeah, very, very basic lighting. So the middle part here obviously will shine up into the top part of the actual saucer dome itself to light up the top part over here in the top section of the saucer. Well, if I just move everything around a little bit, apologies again for the poor camera work. You see I've just rigged up some very basic, got some LEDs here for the navigation and the strobe lights all ready to go and put in. So this is a navigation. These are what I call the strobe. Whether that's the correct term or not, I don't know. But again, I'm not a nautical person. Never been on a ship in my life. Well, I have, but not working. But there we go. It's pretty much all ready to be put together and sealed up. Of course, that will, of course, then go on here. I can sort the wiring out. I'll just mess around with it a little bit more. I'll just turn on the main lighting to show you that effect. So all that's really needed to be done on here now is just for this top part to be closed up. The obligatory putty work needs to be done. Just get this back into the right way. There we go. So once it's closed up, nice and flat, just some putty work around the edge here to stop the light leaking through. Another quick spray over on the edge there with some primer, and then this piece will be ready for painting and putting onto the main body part itself. So if I just flick this around, sort out my wires, you can see here part of my process is when I do the wiring. It's a good tip. I just use a basic bit of tape and just label them up: main, navigation, plus navigation, or strobe, whatever the case may be, to indicate which wire is which. Now, rather stupidly, schoolboy error, on the two main ones, I didn't actually indicate which was the plus and which was the negative. But there we go. We'll soon find out. So let's turn the power on, connect up the wire, and we'll soon see. But the good thing is these are already have the resistors on, so I don't have to worry about that at this stage. So I can just simply touch. Did I get it right? No, I didn't. There you go. We'll do that in a moment. I'll actually label them, which is the plus and which is the negative, for later on. I come to combine all this wiring. There we go. That's it. And there we are. So there we go. All the lights on. So they always look a bit washed out on camera. Of course they do. That's the beauty of using mobile devices. But you can see there all the lights are on. They're all shining. They will reflect a little bit better, of course, once all the paint job is done. These window ports will have some clear material put into them, whether it's going to be clear UV resin that I've got that I use to put into there, or I've even got some just basic PVA glue which dries crystal clear. I'll probably use that, just a little dab in there, let it dry, and then it'll help to bounce the light around a little bit more. But you can see here it's not looking too bad. Probably would have got a bit of a better effect if I'd used LED strip, but again, I'm just trying to keep this wire away from everything else. But you can see here it's all lit up. I'm just going to hold the camera there so you can see. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty nice. The beauty part as well, having that center piece of the LEDs right in the bottom here. Oh, I just dropped the camera. I'm trying to use a new camera rig here and it's not working. So again, I apologize for the poor video. I will get better at these as time goes on, he says. There you go. There was no need to put a separate LED right here in the bottom to shine out. We still got the clear stock part to go into this bit because I had that cradle in the middle, which is shining up to the top. It's also given us the light at the bottom as well. So it killed two birds with one stone. So that was a very good little trick there. I'll just move this around, just make sure none of my navigation wires are going to touch that positively because I don't want them to blow. But there we go. So that's the progress where I am with this kit at the moment. Saucer main lighting, the navigation and the strobe lights, they're all in and are working as well. I won't mess around on video showing those, but they're basically working the same as the ones up here. Just slightly different flash rates. These flash at a rate of about a 1 second interval. The light up here and the one on the nacelles, they flash at a half a second interval. And there we go, ready to be sealed up and get ready for painting, which then basically leaves the only last bit to do for this project is build the main circuit board, which I'll do, as I mentioned, I'll do a separate tutorial on that one. And it's then just working on this piece to install the main lighting inside to get this one ready. So a bit of lighting to go in here. I'll probably put some LEDs in here to shine up the top and down the bottom, try and collect some of this. Sort out the bit at the front here. I've got a little idea for that, which I'll try. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'll try it. So I like to experiment. Get the lighting in here. For the impulse engine, I've got that needs sorting out. I went a little bit wrong with that, but that's okay. I've got the torpedo launcher bits there drilled out so they can have some fiber optics put in there connected to a little red LED inside. But that's what's next to do. Once all these bits are done and it's all working and fine, I can then connect all of these pieces together, do some more putty work with them, fill up the seams, check for any light leaking, and then it's ready for the full over paint job to be done, which I'm quite looking forward to, actually. Quite looking forward. It's a basic paint job. It can be a little bit tedious with all the masking out, but well worth doing in the end when you see the results. And then after that, it's a case of just mounting it onto the stand. Now, I've got to be honest, I'm going to be using, come on, Steve, check your English. Not going to be using the stock, if I can find it. I'm going to be using the stock mounting base for this kit because it's a really nice kit. It's a really nice base, and that's something that I found with. I'll just turn these lights off a second, just to make sure I don't have any blowouts. Bear with me while I just unplug the main power cord there, so nothing touches. Yeah, for the base, I will be using the stock kit part for this kit. Now, something I've noticed over the years, certainly with these old AMT ERTL kits, some of the bases that you get with these kits are really nice bases. They're really nice little mounting plinths. I'm going to be brutally honest with the Polar Lights kits, and I've got a few up on my shelf, which I'm sure a lot of us modelers do have. They like to use these things, these plastic domes with a metal rod coming out of it. I don't like these domes. They serve the purpose, don't get me wrong. You know, you can mount your model on it and it's got the little attachment at the top where you can pivot the model around. It looks great, but it's just too basic. I don't like them. That's my personal thing. With these older kits, the AMT ERTL kits, I've noticed that some of the kits here, really beautiful bases here, really nice. Here's the one half of the stock piece that goes in, so the model will be mounted this way. So I can work on that to get this bit drilled through, or even replace this with a piece to insert up into the main body. Run the wiring down. With the second half that's in here, because it's in a V shape, I'll cover up the front with a bit of stock plastic. Get it all looking nice, and then all the wires can run down here, through here, and into the base. And this is where I'm going to be mounting the circuit board for the flashing lights. I'm a modeler. I don't like to have my circuit boards inside the models, purely because if the circuit board should fail, if something should burn out, if a capacitor should go, or the microcontroller should fail, it's easier to access it through the base and swap it out and change it. If you install inside the kit, then you've got a real problem with trying to get it back out. Now, don't get me wrong, each person has their own preference. Some modelers, they like to install their microchip boards inside the models. That's absolutely fine. That's your choice. Personally, I don't like that. I don't like that purely because I'm worried if the board should fail, I can access it a whole lot easier through the base. So the board will be connected into here. This is going to get painted up. This is a really nice base. I really like this. A little switch probably down here at the front. I'll have to make this a little bit thicker, but that's easily done. I can do that. That's not a problem. And mount it onto that base there. So there we go. There we have it. This is where I am with this project so far. Again, my apologies for the lack of updates so far with this kit, but of course, being the festive period, we've all been busy enjoying the time. But I've been making some good progress over the last few days with this project. I am going to look at later on as well, trying to find another way of doing these, doing the lighting in the nacelles here. Here I've used basic LED strip. I've tried to diffuse it as best as I possibly can using different techniques. Not entirely happy with it. It's the hot spots I don't like, so I'm going to be looking at trying to see how I can get that nice and smooth lighting. Looking at when I've been looking at things on eBay, different lighting, LED lighting techniques and strips and products, and yeah, do some experimentation there. There we are. But there we are, everybody. A nice quick video on this one just to show progress update on this. So as I said, last thing to do then for the saucer is just connect these two pieces in, do the putty work on the bottom. That's then ready to go, and then it's just working on the installations for the lighting here, getting the main circuit board built, and then putting it all together and onto the paint job. Going well, going well. Looking nice. A lot of wiring to sort out, but hey ho, one of those things, isn't it? There we go. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Again, thanks for everybody that's hit the subscribe button. Come on, get your words out, Steve. I get very nervous for some reason when I film these videos. I don't know why. It's almost like I've got an audience in front of me, and I should be used to it because I'm used to standing in front of strangers as part of my job and just talking waffle for hours on end. It's what I do as my living. But there we go. Apologies again for the poor videos. I'm not an expert at this kind of thing. Thanks for watching, everybody. As I said, I hope you all had a great Christmas. If you're watching this after the 29th of December, then a very, very happy New Year to you. I hope you will have a very great New Year's Eve. Please drink responsibly and enjoy it. And I'll be back soon in a couple of more days with another update. I'll probably do the tutorial for this on how to build the circuit board because I want to get the main circuit board done. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching. You all take care now. See you again soon. Bye-bye.